Hello, hello, hello. Today I'll be going over the T-34-3, the tier 8 Chinese medium tank. It's a premium, has preferential matchmaking, which means it only fights one tier above but two tiers below. But in this game we have only tier 8s and tier 7, so we are quite well off in this game considering how the tank is. This tank has been in the previous state of the game has been very poor, I would say. It has not been particularly amazing, not outstanding in any remark. It did got, you know, buffed up a little bit here with slight, I think it was slight mobility, but especially the gun and the gun handling, which have made me reconsider saying this tank is quite fine now. This preferential matchmaking is really carrying it through. And it doesn't feel too bad or too slow, or the gun doesn't feel too dreary with this gun handling that it has. Yes, the gun handling, as you can see me here going left and right, is quite horrid, but it's the way you fight with the tank. You always slow down, play slow with it. It's more like you have a quite okay speed fast tank to get to a certain position, and then you can start duking it out. But let's talk about the gun. The gun has 196 AP pen. As you can see here, like this kind of motion back and forth. It's quite nice. Like the gun handling doesn't spike up too much or, you know, becomes too detrimental. As you line up the shot, that one I had to rush. But I have 196 AP pen with 800 shell velocity, so well, it's not made for sniping, and luckily we're on Himmelsdorf, which tends to not be so much a sniper map, and here we easily pen the side of the Leo. The heat shell has 250 heat pen, so it's actually respectable, it's good, actually. But it has 720 shell velocity. And pardon me for coughing. And here we got the sniping element of the tank. It's not the strong point. Already I can see how the shift of the battle is. We are losing the down part, we are winning the hillside. As we get in some great sniping shots here. The standard dispersion is 040, which is quite horrible. And I have an awful cough. I beg your pardon. But we're making it work. They show a big side armor here. And we're waiting for the Patriot here, because he is the most harder target, or a harder target for everyone to deal with around here, because he got a really good armor. The Tiger, nah, not so good armor, but the Tiger has a good gun. But the Patriot is more of a heavily armored, more dangerous for everyone to deal with. And here we just keep on sniping. We just need to keep shooting and keep pinning these enemies down, because there's a lot of them. And again, we're waiting for the Patriot. Maybe go for Tiger? No, we go for the Patriot. No? Oh, there we go. Track shot. Setting it up. And we see that we are not winning the hill. And we are losing the downside. We are losing everywhere. And I am sitting and sniping, which is not the best thing to do. Oh, that's a lucky shot. Oh. RNG took that one and just threw it on left, but you can see how the bad dispersion really makes this a tricky tank to snipe with. But back to the gun, you have also an HE shell, which should not be discredited. It has 61 pen and 800 shell velocity. The 61 pen can be really good versus Borask. Oh man, I remember when I marked this tank, oh, shooting Borask left, right, and center with this nasty 400 alpha, 390. So what? You have up to 500, almost. No. No matter what, you have a lot of HE damage that you can do with this tank. The Bisonte here is going forwards, dealing with the Caro and the IS-2M. Oof. We need to make a move now. This Tiger and me needs to get going and do something. As I'm swinging around, this Tiger needs to come and help me. I know how peril the moment is. And we're getting ammo out. Oof. We got in the shot though. Again. The new gun handling helps. Shame the Tiger kinda shot too early there. put us in a kind of a awkward situation. But he pulls through. Thank you, Tiger. And we don't get the shot there, unfortunately. The mobility of the tank is quite okay. Like, it feels good. Like, it doesn't feel too slow. It doesn't feel like it's not immensely quick, but it gets around the place. You have sort of armor as well. The 200 turret armor, which is most significant. 100 on the hull armor, but when you peeking hull with this tank, you you need to first find the hull. But here we have a good hull. We're using the rubble here. As you can see, the Centurion and the CS-53 is both afraid of me here. While I'm peeking on this rubble, you can see on the right side, just to kind of pivot my tank down, so I can just wrap the upper plate of the Centurion. I'm just looking into where my friendlies are going. And I don't know if you need to shoot that. No, we shoot the 53. And the 43 flanks us at the same time. Ooh. Alright, we dodged him as well. And both my teammates are moving down. They're saying, screw this 43, we're moving down. And they get ambushed by the Chrysler and the 45 TP. We need to quickly take out this 43 while the Tiger buys us time. The acceleration is, as you can see, it's moderately fine, I would say. It's no Progetto or no amazing, is that remark. And this 43, I think, is a little bit afraid of me. And he should be. Alright, we got him. Easy going, man. As you can see, as you probably heard, I repaired the fuel tank. Because the armor of this tank, yes, it's kind of okay turret armor. But, oh man, the fuel tank is in the front. The ammo rack is in the front, I believe, as well. At least the sides, it sets on fire very easily. So it's a quite fragile tank in its mark when you get penned in hull. So you definitely need to start repairing the fuel tank and the ammo rack super quickly with this thing. Super quickly. You can side scrape with it. It has 80 in the hull armor, so you can actually set up side scrapes. So you can actually, when you want to fight this tank, you want to fight on same even ground as I'm doing right now. Here I'm expecting the Chrysler and the 45 TP to move up and engage me. And I know I have the upper hand if they do so, even if the Chrysler takes the hull down on the right there. Yep, this is what we do, man. It's 2 versus 1. I'm in a deficit. I need to wait. And the Tiger is very impatient. He wants me to go kill them. But I think the Tiger is a little bit lacklustering here. He kind of misses the point. Another good thing about the tank is its camo. Even though you're going to be this close-up personal kind of shoot-to-shoot tank, you're still going to use this camo for, well, when you want to slip away and such. So it could be kind of fine to look into that when you're kitting up the tank. And one thing that is poorly on this tank, as you can probably see on the minimap, is that I don't have full view range. The base view range is 380. So it's kind of tricky to get up full view range because you don't get help from the field modification when you're using a ventilation build. And since I'm not really doing long range spotting with this tank, it's more close up and stuff like that. So I feel like the optics you can ditch with this tank. I have it as a secondary equipment, but I only use it very rarely. It would be if a bottom tier, no light tanks, pretty much. You kind of seen the gun depression there. It was worse back in the day, I could say. At the moment, it's 6.5 gun depression, so you can actually peak certain cooldowns. I think before it was like 5, and both of them are starting to cap, and we're in a good position. We just need to see if we can trickle a shot in on the 45 or the Chrysler. It looks like the 45 is a one-shot for us, which would work a lot in our favor. But the Chrysler is a 3-shot, 2-shot, something like that. And we try to take this a little bit distant approach, so maybe we can ambush. And we need to line up the shot. And do we see the middle of the cap? And I already see a problem here, and I realized that, oh wait, oh, there's a wall. but there's all the debris in the way, and I have heat loaded. Oh, I see the Chrysler and I see 45. Oh, looking. Oh, we thread the needle. Oh, wow. Wow, we managed to get the decap there. Man, we needed to have an AP there to be solid. But I had the heat just because I know the Chrysler is kind of a tough one to shoot at. And now we need to run, and we need to make this Chrysler rethink where I might show up, where I might be. That's why I went forward there to maybe bait him to stay in the cap a little bit longer, so I can actually rotate all the way to the south to decap. And he's on the hunt. Who knows where he's gonna appear? I am guessing he's just go straight north. And no, he went into the middle first and then north. And I'll see if I can... Well, I couldn't connect that one. But we need to keep distance. We're a one shot for him. He has 320 alpha. We have 390. But we are at 304 hit points. So we are 100% the one shot. We just need to hope we can actually cross to the other side, so we can create always this distance, so we can keep the target at bay until he makes or she makes a mistake. And here I'm realizing that idea, where I'm looking where he's going. I'm kind of staying on this middle path, just so I can always run. Here I'm trying to bait so I can actually get the shot on the cupola. Ah, no. But we don't have the luxury to stop and wait, because he can pen us easily, even with his regular ammo. Not just APCR. And here we are just keeping him in a proxy range. The IS-2M is sad that we are playing the way we're playing, I guess. Unfortunately. And we take off. Oof. The Chrysler has really good acceleration, so it can really get you off guard. Oh, that was close. But we gotta keep up this higher top speed that we have. And just use that against us. As you can see, we go close just to proxy him again. Just to give the information, just to take the information. Thinking of shooting there, but I'm keeping up the speed. And now we get across to the other side. We just don't want the Chrysler to be close to us. That's when he wins, and that's where we lose. CS tank? No formula? Like formula? Like, you mean baby powder? Tank? Baby powder? I don't know what the ISM2 wrote there. But let's see if we could peek this, and ooh, there we have a bounce. But it's kind of hard for him to hit there, because the way I peeked was between the U-tank, no formula. Well, he's right about that. I think he's trying to tell me that I need to go fight and not drive around. Alright then, thank you so much IS2M for your insight there. And yeah, I guess you always need a reminder sometimes. I didn't know about that angle, that he could spot me there. But we are just waiting and prodding. This is the best that we can do. We're thinking of HE? No, there we go. That's the mistake we're looking for. Alright, he's down to a 2-shot for us now. From 3 to 2, we're getting there. Even though the tank says it has 12% chance of getting fire, it's a lot higher than 12%, I feel like. And I don't think at this point I have a fully trained intuition, because I probably would have used it and dunked an HE on him, but I was kind of hopeful that the heat would be enough for this side script, that he would side script a little bit poorly. And here we try to see what the Chrysler is wanting to do. Sees me move, I see him move as well. I'm taking a bet he might come up the 8 line, or he burst out in the middle. No? Okay, we try to follow, think right there. There we go. Alright, the Chrysler is 7 hit points. We have a loading up an HE, because we got him. Oh baby, we got him. We got 40 seconds to deal with this target. This is quite of a okay credit earner, this preferential matchmaking tanks. It's always kind of easier to pen your targets when you have a preferential matchmaking tank. The IS2M is right on time with his HE as well. Yep, and there we go. Solid victory. 6 kills, man. 8,257 damage with the T-34-3. Let's hop into the garage of all the places. Here's my Citrus camouflage T-34-3 in my garage. Unfortunately, I have to apologize that I lost the replay. I so I can't show you the battle reports, but we did an 8,200 damage, which is quite solid. I think it's still is going to be my record for this tank. And we did 6 kills, and we got like 377 tracking spotting damage, or was it spotting? I can't remember. But anyway, let's hop into the crew, equipment, ammo, consumables, and field modification. So let's start with the crew. We have 6 Sense, Brothers in Arms, Recon, Repair, and then it's Firefighting or Camouflage, depending on how you like to play. Do you like to be front up, Firefighting, Camouflage for the rear working, sniping and helping out, and then you can disengage from the enemy a little bit easier sometimes. The Gunner, Snapshot, Brothers in Arms, Repair, and Deadshot, maybe Deadeye. I think it's called Deadeye, maybe. I don't normally take it, but that would be a pick for this tank. You got this big 122mm of a gun, so you can, when you penetrate target, you penetrate deep in, and you can do a lot of damage. Set a lot of people fire, ammo racking them. But I would pick camo or firefighting as the as the 4th and 5th equipment. Crew. The crew skills. Oh god, there's too many things, too many variables with this game sometimes. And the driver, we go with Smooth Ride, Brothers in Arms, Repair, off-road driving, and then lastly, preventive maintenance. Could actually work pretty good on this, because the fuel tank sometimes seeps out and gets erupted, and then boom, fire happens. So it could kinda work, the preventive maintenance on the tank. But you can also say, nah, screw that, it takes so long to make it fully effective. And it's a fair point, so you can just chuck in a firefighting skill there, and it works almost the same. No, not really the same, but it will lower the less fire damage that we take, while the preventive maintenance will just prevent it from happening. But it only prevents when the fuel tank rupture and it ends up on the engine. So it's but it's kind of good to pick it on a tank which have fuel tanks in the front. The loader, we pick Situational Awareness, Brothers in Arms. Intuition is so good on this tank. I realized that so late though, but as you can see on the 3rd skill, I had to start with a very low intuition, so it takes up when the skill is around 80 to 100%. That's when the intuition becomes useful for you and more effective on the tank that you're playing. Because the HE on this thing, oh baby, when you could just switch over to an HE and whack those burrasques sometimes, oh, that is so much fun. But for the 4th and 5th skill, we take Repair. No, we take Safe Stowage and then we take Repair. Oh, we're waiting with the Repair for a long time. But Safe Stowage is gonna help you as well, because there were some cases where I got instantly ammo racked, and my god, that hurts. That hurts. So we'll go with the crew skills again for the loader. Situational Awareness, Brothers in Arms, Intuition, Safe Stowage, and then Repair. For the equipment, it's kind of straightforward. We go with Ventilation, Vert Stab, Rammer, and that is the solid one that I would use. I'd used it throughout marking. For the second type of equipment, it's Vertical Stabilizer, Optics, and then Rammer. I only really used this one with the Optics when I was the bottom tier, so it was only 9 and 8s, and there was no light tanks, so then I could maybe sneak in, take a bush on certain maps. Most often do I end up hunkering behind some nasty tier 9 or, you know, helping out when they're in the firefight, wherever that happens. And the shells, I don't see much point of changing around. I did have this as well. We have 15-25 or 20-15-5. That would depending if it's, like I said, lots of tier 9s, load up a little bit more heat, lots of good armor tier 8s, load up the heat. Otherwise, I would think this AP is working fine, and we have always some HE with us. Even though we set on fire, I still recommend the combat ration consumables. It's always good to have. It just boosts your whole tank fully, completely. And then we check out the field modification. Here, the biggest impact is probably this one, the damage to ammo rack penalty and damage to engine penalty. It's so good for when the stuff happens when you get damaged and you don't have the repair kit ready, or you have multiple things damaged like ammo rack and fuel tank and or engine and the gun. Then you kind of this kind of makes them workable at least. So it's a very good thing to have for when the when the shit hits the bucket, so to say. And this is very negligible. The minus on the hull traverse speed and the gun traverse speed, it's so quickly anyway. And the obvious choice is the next one, is the smaller aiming circle. It just counters the other negative effects on it. And the last bit, I don't see much of a use of this, to be honest, because we are gonna fight in close-up fighting. So you could say, oh, then you should pick this, so we faster reverse. But we're already going 20. And we don't really just depend on our survival skill for the tracks. Sometimes, maybe if we get a lucky time we can side script with it, it's kinda fine, but I still like to have that little bit higher concealment on the tank when I can get it. So this I will ignore, but maybe if you had to pick, you would pick this. So a little bit better repair speed and a faster reverse. And for the boost, I picked the scouting because survivability doesn't do anything for the tank, and scouting helps out when I finally use my optics build for it. But that's my little review of this T-34-3 overall. I was surprisingly liking this tank when I played it. It didn't feel too dreary. It has, 36 here, but it didn't feel too dreary of sniping and shooting and moving around the place. Yeah, it takes some time when it aims down, when you go from full speed to stop. It's moderately fine. Like, it's a bang on average tank, I would say. It has drawbacks, obviously, but it got some upsides as well. And the preferential matchmaking is really singing true for this tank. So that's it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you had a good time, and I hope I'll catch you around.